Hello, my name is Bonnie Church, and I'm a certified life coach and a certified nutritional consultant. My passion is writing and researching about wellness. I write a column for an award-winning magazine. It's called Live Well, and the magazine is all about women. And this is what I'm passionate about doing. And I work with area health and fitness professionals in discovering and educating our communities on the resources that they need to support their health goals. So in that spirit, let's talk today about good bugs and bad bugs. Now remember, the purpose of this presentation is to stimulate your own investigations into what I'm telling you today. So if this is something you need to discuss, the role of probiotics with your supervising health professional before making any dietary changes. Something to be aware of: you are teeming with bugs. And that's a good thing on some level. No kidding. You have more bugs in your body, biotics, also known as biotics, than you have human cells. But there are good bugs, also known as probiotics, and bad bugs, also known as bacteria, fungi, and viruses. And it's really important to make sure the good outnumber the bad. The challenge is this: there are many enemies to the good bugs in your system. Antibiotics, which, antibiotics are used to kill bacteria, but unfortunately they're indiscriminate in the bacteria that they kill. They'll kill the good as well as the bad. Chlorinated water, stress, radiation, additives to your food, pesticides on your vegetables, infections, too much sugar to feed the bad bacteria, not enough fiber to feed the good bacteria. There are a lot of lifestyle issues that can affect the balance between your good and your bad bacteria. There are over 20,000 scientific studies and research papers linked to the role of probiotics to real and lasting health benefits. In fact, there are a growing number of doctors who believe probiotics are among the most important supplements that you can take. But here are some issues related to probiotic deficiency. Here, I know we call this a lunch and learn, and maybe this isn't a very pleasant picture, but on the left there you have a picture of atherosclerosis, which is, fatty cholesterol building up in the arteries. Probiotics can help to prevent that. Probiotics support the conversion of cholesterol into bile acids. If that conversion doesn't take place, then cholesterol can land in the arteries, and that's what it looks like. And we know there's a lot of issues related to arterial plaques and cholesterol. Here in the middle you have a picture of candidiasis, and what that is, it's a fungal buildup. It's a fungal overgrowth in the intestine. And it can manifest in the intestine, it can manifest in the vagina, it can manifest on the skin. Probiotics, if you're suffering from recurring yeast infections or candidas, then this is a pretty good indicator that there is an overgrowth of bad bacteria in your body. So probiotics can help to crowd out that bacteria, helping to relieve your body of the symptoms attributed to the overgrowth. UTI, they're now beginning to do research on preventing and treating recurrent, complicated, and uncomplicated UTI with probiotics. And then notice down here too, another disease state that seems to be effectively alleviated with probiotics is asthma. Okay, and then let's talk a little bit about autoimmune. Good bugs promote the growth of the mucous membranes that line your intestine. This lining helps to keep pathogens from seeping out of your intestine and into your body, and that's also known as leaky gut syndrome. When these pathogens leach out into your body, into your bloodstream, they create confusion in your immune system, and they cause your immune system to attack healthy tissue. That's kind of the basic fundamental definition of autoimmune disorders. And some things that you might not know this, but our autoimmune related disorders are multiple sclerosis, autism, Hashimoto's disease, Graves' disease, rheumatoid arthritis, muscular dystrophy, fibromyalgia, psoriasis, vitiligo, eczema, scleroderma. all sorts of neuropathies, diabetic neuropathies, a lot of things in the GI, celiacs, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, diabetes type 1, blood issues like leukemia and lupus. So a lot of, when your body begins to attack itself, it creates all of these disease states. And there is like an incredible increase in autoimmune diseases. And it is being attributed in part to this leaky gut phenomenon that probiotics can certainly help to alleviate. You have 70% of your, 70%, underline that, 70% of your immune system is inside your gut. And if your gut bacteria is out of balance and unhealthy, then your immune system is going to suffer. And you're going to be more prone to things like the flu or colds or all sorts of, different maladies. So probiotics can literally train your immune system to distinguish between foreign microbes and those originating in your body, making it the best front line against any kind of infection. And also probiotics will resist the proliferation of bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli. And like I said, the urinary tract infections and yeast infections. Another real helpful hint here is when you're traveling in a foreign country, take probiotics as a preventive measure both before and during the trip. Because the more healthy bacteria you have in the gut, the better your defense your body has against potential invaders. Now let's talk about moods. Mood disorders, memory and cognitive deficits. Have you ever experienced a gut instinct or butterflies in your stomach? There's a reason for that. Your gut contains millions of highly reactive neurons. These neurons sense and communicate with your brain when there is a threat to your well-being. Probiotics are the phone that lets your gut talk to your brain. So when you're stressed, probiotics communicate calming signals to your brain. If the probiotics are deficient, if you don't have an adequate supply of them, both your mood and your gut suffer. There's a lot of things that, you've heard of irritable bowel syndrome. That's related to this faulty communication between the brain and the gut. So adequate levels of good bacteria, probiotics, can lead to a reduction in anxiety, depression, and stress. And they may even improve learning and sharpening your focus and your memory. So they're finding that children with ADHD, or I guess with adults with ADHD, a lot of times there's an imbalance of gut in their gut microbiome and their good probiotics. This can influence your mood, your cognition, and your sleep. Weight management. Farmers use antibiotics. I don't know if you know this, but farmers use antibiotics to fatten cattle, pigs, and chickens. Probiotics seem to do the opposite. There was a Japanese company, and they gave 87 overweight individuals 100 grams of a fermented milk. That would be like a kefir, twice a day. After 12 weeks, these individuals lost an average of 4.6% belly fat, and that's without changing their diet. Researchers think that the probiotics somehow decrease the amount of fat absorbed from the intestines. So we know that some other research that indicates that we harvest fewer calories from our food when we're adequately supplied with probiotics. And then also probiotics may help to release the satiety, appetite-reducing hormone, the leptins, and this increased level of this hormone may also help you to burn calories and fat. And probiotics may increase the level of another protein that leads to decreased fat storage. So there's several theories on why adding probiotics to the diet help with weight maintenance, but anyway, it's a good idea. Okay, also teeth and bone health. We know that dental caries, bad breath, and gum disease are due in part to an imbalance of good bacteria. So adding probiotics to your diet can help with oral health as well as bone health. And there's a lot of women out there that when they go into menopause and their estrogen levels drop, they're put on estrogen in order to improve their bone health. As much as 60% of the estrogen circulating in the blood is picked up by the liver and deactivated before being dumped into the gallbladder. I don't know if you're aware of that. Good bugs, good probiotics help to reactivate the estrogen so it can be reabsorbed into the body. And this has been linked, this reabsorption into the body has been linked to a decrease in osteoporosis, as well as migraine, headaches, menstrual cramps, PMS, etc. I think this is an interesting side note too, and of course it says here it's known that imbalanced intestinal microbiota predisposes to C. diff, which is an infection of the intestine, irritable bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome. But, it's also very important for metabolizing energy. There's a couple of reasons that probiotics help to metabolize energy, and they help us to break down our food into the nutrients that can be absorbed. No nutrients, no energy. That's obvious. But it also helps with chronic fatigue syndrome. And I know I had a malady that was related to called MECFS. But chronic fatigue syndrome is one of the outcomes. By the way, I was able to heal myself with nutrition, and that's another matter. Anyway, probiotics help to break down. What they do is they support the signals that spark energy on a cellular level. So probiotics seem to have some function in helping to enhance energy on a cellular level in the mitochondria of the cell. Okay, so probiotics are important. The lack of good bacteria is related to a lot of disease states, as we said here. The good news is you can get probiotics from your food, and we're going to talk a little bit about probiotic sources. Yogurt and kefir. Kefir is actually a better source of probiotics for you. Kefir is a fermented probiotic milk drink, and it contains several major strands of friendly bacteria. It's very diverse, and it's very potent, more potent than yogurt, although yogurt is good. The problem with this, and we're going to talk about this in a minute. Well, I'll tell you in a minute here. We'll go over these first. Also sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickles. Okay, sauerkraut is like, finely shredded cabbage that has been fermented by lactic acid bacteria. Kimchi is a Korean dish. My husband makes kimchi, and it's absolutely delicious. Pickles, certain kinds of pickles, only pickles that have been fermented, not vinegar fermented, but have actually been allowed to ferment, in a jar with probably some sweetener, like some sugar added to it to help excite the fermentation process. Miso, which is a fermented soy that is used for soups. Natto, which is another fermented soy product. That is also very good in increasing your levels of K2, which is important for bone health. Kvass and kombucha are two probiotic drinks. My husband right now is actually making some kvass out of sourdough rye bread. It's called the Russian beer. It's actually a rich probiotic drink. And kombucha, which is actually a probiotic that grows from SCOBY mushroom. And we've made that in the past. It's mushroom and green tea, very good. So you can make these things. A little complicated to make them, but it's a lot of fun. Certain cheeses have a lot of probiotics: cottage cheese, Gouda, mozzarella, cheddar. Okay, but there's a problem here. Some of the things, like for instance, I was telling you about the vinegar and pickles. There are a lot of things that are fermented with vinegar to give them they're pickled. That's not a lacto-fermented process, so you need to look at pickles and see if there are live bacteria indicated on the label, or live bacteria indicated on the label of the kimchi or the sauerkraut or anything like this. So there's some people that think they're getting probiotics because they're eating sauerkraut or they're eating pickles or they're eating kimchi, but the vegetables have not been fermented properly, so the probiotics aren't there. Also, pasteurization can kill the probiotics, and that's what you have a lot with yogurt products or even kefir products. Heat will kill probiotics. So something was created with live bacteria, but then it's pasteurized, it's very unlikely that it has much probiotic left in it. Also, there is sugar used in the lactofermentation process, but that sugar is actually kind of consumed by the lactofermentation process. When I say added sugar, I mean when sugar is added after the fermentation process. Like for instance, with kefir or with yogurt, there can be a lot of added sugar, and that can be very counterproductive because added sugar can also feed the bad bacteria. Okay, so because of these issues related to getting our probiotics from our food, sometimes it makes sense, and I think it does make sense, to add a probiotic supplement. Now, my favorite supplement is the NutriClean probiotics, and in the interest of full disclosure, I am a distributor of the NutriClean probiotics product. I am blessed, I and a team of health professionals, medical doctors, fitness people that I work with, to have access and distribution rights to several manufacturers of several different kinds of products, so we can pick and choose the ones we love the most through the Nutrametrics supplement and health systems division. Okay, so the NutriClean probiotics, what sets this NutriClean probiotic apart is this. NutriClean probiotics offer a technology called BioTrack. BioTrack helps to keep probiotics alive during the digestion process. This is another issue. Some people are taking probiotic supplements, but they're dying en route to the intestine, so they never really have the full benefit. With the BioTrack technology, you're getting 17 times more live good bacteria than with just plain probiotic capsules. There's also a technology used with the NutriClean probiotics called LiveBac. LiveBac helps to keep the probiotics inert on the shelf so they have a long shelf life. And then those probiotics are activated when they go through the process of digestion. The probiotics are gluten-free, they're vegetarian. It's just such an incredible product. Now, I'm going to talk to you also about what I love about this product is that they have very targeted probiotics. Like you can go and pick up a probiotic at a store and it looks like, oh man, there's tons of stuff, tons of probiotics in this product, but they're kind of like a mile wide and an inch deep, and they're not really addressing in a very targeted and very potent fashion issues that you want to address. The NutriClean probiotics offers the probiotics that you need the most, or a form or a strain of those probiotics that are going to have the greatest benefit to you. And they're offered in an efficacious amount with the BioTrack technology so that they don't get destroyed during the digestive process, and the LiveBac technology so they don't die while they're sitting on a shelf. But I'm going to introduce you to a few of them really, really quickly. And I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to get, there's a couple superstars here that I wanted to talk about. But the Lactobacillus plantarum, one of the unique aspects of this particular strain is that it can synthesize lysine, okay? Lysine, if anybody has had a shingles, which is like epidemic right now, one of the recommendations to prevent and alleviate the post-herpetic pain issues with shingles is to take a lysine supplement. This probiotic actually helps you to synthesize lysine in your body. It also has the ability to bully bad bacteria. And I guess what it does is it competes for the same nutritional sources as the bad bacteria and drives them out. We have the Lactobacillus acidophilus, which is often in yogurt products, which prevents fungal overgrowth, vaginal infections and things like that, anything related to fungal overgrowth and candida. The Lactobacillus rhamnosus is been shown to support a healthy urinary tract, preventing urinary tract infections. It helps to enhance the stomach lining. The stomach lining, actually, what this bacteria helps to do is it helps to increase the mucosal, the production of healthy mucus lining your intestine, and this prevents things like, or helps to heal things like leaky gut syndrome. It also helps with the immunity, and probiotics just by nature are going to help with your immunity. Lactobacillus salvarius, which is important for dental health. Lactobacillus casei, which is important for digestive health and breaking down your nutrients, your lactose, etc., so that you can digest it. But I guess a couple of the superstars here that I wanted to address. The Lactobacillus helveticus, which has been shown to build bone, and it helps to increase bone density. So osteoporosis, supporting healthy bones is an important bacteria for that. It also helps with arterial flexibility and blood pressure. It's important for your immune health. It's what's great about it, it's able to survive the GI pH, so it's a very potent and stout probiotic. It has antimicrobial properties. And then the Bifidobacterium longum, which helps to balance the colonization of bacteria. It helps the bacteria to proliferate, and it also heals in the intestinal mucosal membrane that I was talking about, preventing leaky gut syndrome. But when you combine these things, when you combine these two, it's really interesting. Oh yeah, another thing about the Bifidobacteria longum, it's important for stress reduction and healthier body mass. And it is one of the most important probiotics for communicating with your brain to calm down. And it is the only strain that has ever been seen to mediate IBS-related imbalances of the body, and otherwise the things that trigger irritable bowel syndrome. It also improves cognitive function. But when you combine these two very important probiotics, what they are seen to do is fight off infections better, avoid disease-associated diarrhea, improve the robustness of the immune system. But when taken together, they become something called a psychobiotic, which is a potent combination that improves mood, decreases depression and anger issues, increases overall positive feeling, decreases cortisol over time, and in addition to that, it alleviates inflammatory responses which are associated with infections and allergies, etc. So the combination of the two is what's incredibly powerful, and you don't often see that combination in tandem in a probiotic supplement. So that's what sets this apart. This is so nutri-nerdy, and I am so sorry if I'm going into too much detail. This is the kind of thing that I thrive on. But you can get some great information, and I'll tell you where to get it soon. The Bifidobacterium bifidum is for digestion and the immune system. Another superstar, okay, is Bifidobacterium breve, which is for gut, skin, and weight management. This has been, you can get a lot of details on how this is so important to babies and for mothers who are pregnant with their babies to ensure that their baby is born with an adequate level of this probiotic in their system. We know it's great for the skin. It prevents water loss, improves skin elasticity and hydration, and it helps to prevent the demand, photoaging, which is sun damage. It alleviates allergies. There have been a lot of studies done on that. Skin allergies, eczemas, and things like that. So it's very important for alleviating allergies. It may be beneficial in asthma. It's got a very powerful immunomodulating response, which is what, helps to relieve allergic asthma. It's just a powerful anti-inflammatory in the lungs. It helps to combat obesity. It significantly lowers fat mass. And Breve has reduced body weight gain and accumulation of visceral fat. It's improved serum levels of total cholesterol. So all of those benefits that I talked about previously, the Breve is just like a real superstar with a lot of superpowers. It's beneficial for your gastrointestinal tract, constipation, diarrhea, celiac. Another thing is that it's been shown to increase BDNF, which is a brain hormone that supports deep sleep, cognitive function, and mood. Some other things that increase BDNF is an eating plan called the TLS Weight Management Solution, the whole TLS lifestyle where you're reducing sugar, you're eating vegetables and proteins and foods from all food groups in healthy amounts, and you're exercising and managing stress. They also increase BDNF, this very important brain hormone. So adding the probiotics is such a great idea for anybody that's going through a weight management system or dealing with autoimmune issues or other immunity issues. So these are absolute superstars. And then we have the B bacterium or the Bifidobacterium infantis, which is important for metabolism and well-being. So these are the bugs that are in the NutriClean probiotics. That's what I love them. They are very targeted. They're very comprehensive, and they're very potent, and they're offered at efficacious levels to help you support your health. Now, in order to purchase the NutriClean probiotics, you're going to get with the person who is sharing this information with you. And I would strongly encourage you to ask them about cashback and discounts and distribution rights to these incredible products where you could actually create a business matching people to the resources they need to live a healthy life. Okay, so that's pretty much all I really wanted to share with you today. I know that was a little bit long and complicated maybe on some level. I tried to make it as simple as possible. And if you have any questions about this, then you can reach me, contact me through my website at bonniechurch.com. And also, if you would like to have that kvass recipe that my husband is working on right now, even as we speak, you can ask me for it and I will send you a link to it. And you can make your own great probiotic drink. Have a blessed day.